Analysts at UBS say they have spoken directly to Nvidia's customers and can confirm that lead times for Nvidia's coveted GPUs have fallen substantially in recent months, and in a stunning example of rationalizing groupthink, they're using that as a reason to raise their price target for Nvidia stock. What's up, guys? I'm nobody special, and for months I've been trying to warn about AI mania. I've been saying that the stock market is in an artificial intelligence bubble right now, very similar to the dot-com bubble. And much like the dot-com era, there's a lot of companies like Nvidia that are engaged in some shady business practices that maybe they're not necessarily illegal, but they can be used to artificially inflate your revenue numbers to make it seem like the demand for this technology is more than it really is. And I gotta send a shout out to Kakashi on X, formerly known as Twitter, who posted this analyst note from UBS just a couple of days ago. Now, this analyst note is very similar to pretty much every other analyst note from every other analyst covering Nvidia of the last 16 months. It starts off with a lot of gobbledygook about strong demand and revenue upside potential, and of course, they raised the price target from $580 to $850, but it was this last paragraph here that flies in the face of the entire premise of this analyst note, and I couldn't help but notice, guys, this isn't saying what you think it's saying. According to UBS analysts Timothy Arcuri and Carlos Colorado, they say that customer discussions confirm Nvidia's lead times have come in substantially over the past few months, meaning shipment slots are still available in the second half of 2024. Now, if you read that and thought to yourself, maybe the demand for these chips isn't as crazy as people are saying, then congratulations, you have survived the AI bubble and retained your capacity for independent abstract thought. But if you're a Wall Street analyst covering Nvidia stock, then literally everything anybody says anywhere in the world is automatically bullish Nvidia stock. And so Arcuri and Colorado go on to say, normally this is bad, but demand for AI compute capacity is still so strong in the near term, we think this just points to significant upside potential to shipments and revenue.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Now, anywhere else in the world where you see lead times shrinking, it would be suggestive that supply and demand are coming back into balance, that maybe the demand no longer exceeds the supply by so much, and that's why production is starting to catch up with the backlog of orders. That's how this works anywhere else in the universe, that is, outside of analysts covering Nvidia. Now, there is one hypothetical scenario where this could be true, that these shrinking lead times is an indicator of strong future demand potential, and that would be if there was somehow some expansion of production capacity or some efficiency at the places where they make these chips, and so that capacity has expanded rather than the demand shrinking. But that's probably not the case here, because Taiwan Semiconductor, the company that makes these chips, has been reducing their capex, i.e. their investments in new production capacity, for about 3 years now. Taiwan Semiconductor invested $36 billion in capex in 2022, but that went down to just $32 billion in 2023, and forecasts are as low as $28 billion for 2024. Now, if Taiwan Semiconductor was worried about this excessive demand for these GPUs, then they would be investing more money in expanding their capacity to build these chips, not less and less with each subsequent year. So the reduction in capex at Taiwan Semiconductor is at least supportive of the idea that this decline in Nvidia chips is not due to any new efficiencies in their production. And if that's the case, then it leaves the only other obvious answer, that the demand is not as strong as people are saying. But it's not just this Twitter rando that's saying that anymore. Check out this one from The Information dated February 13th. Databricks CEO predicts major drop in AI chip prices. Nvidia stock has been on a tear as major technology firms and app developers clamor for the company's server chips for artificial intelligence, creating a shortage. But over the next year, prices for these chips, known as graphics processing units, will plummet, throwing a wrench into the business models of numerous major companies and startups, said Ali Ghodsi, CEO of Databricks, a $43 billion valuation developer of software that helps companies use AI. So this quote from Databricks here is supportive of the idea that those shrinking lead times UBS observed are more due to demand not being as strong as forecast and not the result of a sudden surge of efficiency or new capacity coming online. And I would just like to emphasize that this is not just another Twitter rando saying this. This is AI darling Databricks. Yeah, that's the same Databricks that just got $500 million and a $43 billion valuation from Nvidia themselves just a few months ago in September of 2023. That's right, folks. One of these AI unicorns that received a very generous strategic investment from Nvidia is now saying that they expect the price of Nvidia's GPUs to plummet in the months ahead.
I guess irony can be pretty ironic sometimes.
So maybe shrinking lead times isn't really bullish Nvidia stock. Maybe those lead times are shrinking because the demand is really not as strong as they're saying. Maybe that's why Databricks is saying they expect the prices on those GPUs to plummet. And maybe that's why there's still open slots for orders on Nvidia's GPUs in the second half of this year. And maybe that's why Jensen Huang is on this tour of the globe pumping his GPUs to the heads of state from countries all over the world. But in the world of Wall Street analysts who cover Nvidia stock, literally anything said by literally anyone is automatically bullish Nvidia stock. And that's why out of 38 analysts covering Nvidia, 34 have a buy, 4 have a hold. Not one single analyst has a sell rating on Nvidia. Nobody wants to be the only one saying sell. They're all just saying buy because they don't want to stand out from the crowd. And it's that psychological phenomenon of groupthink that is causing these analysts at UBS to look at information that is clearly bearish for Nvidia stock and saying, this is an excuse to raise our price target even further. Till next time, live small and dream big.